CapCut Carousel Auto Slider is what I want to show you how to create like a professional using your smartphone. It is super easy how I broke it down. It doesn't matter if you have zero knowledge about using CapCut because this video is beginner friendly. If you can master it with your smartphone, using computer will be way much easier. Let's go. So you click new video, you come to library, you select a portrait background. You select any background of your choice. So, but in my case, I already have a background I've added to my favorites. So I'll select the background and add. After that, I will have to adjust the background. This is like 22 seconds, but I know our slider effect may not get to 22 seconds. So we may end up splitting. So after doing this, the first thing you do is to overlay your photos. You can use your real photos for this effect, but in my case, I would like to overlay some products. These are the products. You have to select the photos one after the other because of the settings we want to add. So don't select all the photos once as a beginner. In fact, for clarity reasons, don't select the photos once. Just be doing them one after the other. So I select the first photo. So you add it, you overlay it to the background and adjust to the end to meet the ending of the background. So now make sure the photo is selected in the background. The next thing you do is you come to mask, you click rectangle, you can see the adjust settings. So you click the adjust, you come to size. So now the S axis is the width, while the Y axis is the height. So you adjust to the width you want. So I would like to let's keep this at 70. So one thing I like to do is I don't set the Y axis inside this settings space. I like to do it from the background because not all images sometimes have the same height. You may end up adding images and the heights may be different. So if you set it from here, that means you may end up trimming the image, the height. So I like to adjust from the background to meet my desired height. Okay, so in my case, this is how I want to leave it. So from the Y axis, you can see it is 76. So the next thing you do is you add your round corners. So let's set it to 30. So this is the round corners. So done. So you have to adjust to any size, the size you want. So let's say this is the size I want. In my case, let's say this is the size I want. Okay, so you have to overlay the next image. So this is the next one I want to add. I will repeat the same step. Make sure the photo in the background is selected. So you come to mask, click rectangle, adjust size. The width we are using is 70, so let's maintain the same 70. So this is the height we want to maintain. All right, so yeah, this is it. So the round corners, I'll set it to the same 30 because I want everything to be uniform. So I'm done. I have to zoom down to maintain the same height. This is very important. If not, you may not end up having a very nice looking carousel. So you can see the height is almost the same. So the difference should not be that obvious. So I'm okay with this height. So the next thing is you adjust to the left, sorry, the right corner. You adjust to the right corner of the background. Make sure part of the image is visible in the background. So let's proceed. We have to overlay the next photo. So we'll select. I will repeat the same step. First of all, let me adjust the second image. This image to, yeah. So I've added the third one. I have to do the same adjustment. All right. So make sure the image is selected. I have to come to the mask. Now, I'm doing this step by step. I don't want to cut this video. So we are overlaying only 6 images. So I don't want to fast forward this video because I want you to actually get understanding of what I'm doing. So let's proceed. I'll click rectangle and adjust the size. The size we are using is 70, of course. 70. Okay. So okay, 70, yeah. So let me adjust the height. The previous ones were, I think, 70 something. So you can see not all the image heights are the same. So click round corners. I will adjust to 30. This is it. So done. So I have to zoom down to maintain the same original height of the image in the background. Okay, so this height is okay for me. So I will sweep to the right corner. I'll make sure the image is out of the background. You see, it's out of the background. So don't worry about it. As we move on, you will understand the reason why the image needs to be out of the background. So let's proceed. I will overlay the fourth image, which is this. All right. So I will adjust to meet the length. Come to mask, rectangle, adjust size, 70. Right. Then the height. This is the height I want for this. Round corners, we are using 30 as usual. So done. Then I have to adjust to zoom down to maintain the same height. This height is okay. So I repeat the same thing. I'll move the the photo, that is the image, out of the background. So that's it. So let's overlay the second to the last image. So let's say this one. I'll add and adjust. All right. So now the image should be selected. I'll come to mask, add the size effect, the settings rather, put it 70, and our height, okay, so 84. Let's leave it this way. Then round corners, set it to 30. Okay, so this is what we want. Let's resize. Okay, so sometimes the resizing can be difficult, so you have to just try and master the art of resizing your images. So you push to the right corner, you add the last image. You have to repeat this process for all the images you want to make appear in the carousel. So as usual, we are coming to the mask, rectangle, adjust size, putting it 70, then the height. Okay, so let's leave it this way. Then round corners, 30. Okay, all right, so let's maintain our normal background size. Okay, let's say this size is manageable, so let's push. All right, so now, okay, let me adjust this first. Okay, so we are done overlaying our images. So here is the most critical aspect of this slide, of this carousel. You have to pay attention to everything I'm doing. So let's move. What you do is you move the playhead, to the background, right? So another thing I want to let you know is that you have um, to make sure you are not too fast in your movement, so that the carousel effect can be felt, so that when someone sees the carousel, it will be nice. So if you apply too much speed in moving your playhead, it may end up overspeeding your carousel, and the effect may not be felt. So I'll move the playhead. Now I will come to the first image. I will select the first image, the one in the middle. I will add a keyframe. I will move out of the keyframe. I will select another keyframe. Then I zoom up once. You have to zoom up once. You move out of the keyframe. You give the final zoom. So let's say this is the height of the zoom I want to create, the zoom effect. So after this, you move out of the playhead. Now I want to give a little distance, so that the image can pause, can stand still a bit before zooming in and sliding out. That is the real effect of this carousel we are creating. So I move out of the keyframe. I'll give a little space, then add another keyframe. Now this keyframe I've added is to zoom in. All right. So I'll zoom in once, right? I have to move out of the keyframe and zoom in again to maintain the original uh, height of the image in the background, the original size. So after this, I have to move out of the keyframe. I'll move out of the keyframe. I have to follow this step by step, move out of the keyframe and add another keyframe. Then the one you just added now is to move the image to the left corner. Move it to the left corner. Make sure part of it is still in the background, it's still visible. So after this, you move out of the keyframe. The next thing you want is to replace that image that just left the middle. So you are replacing it with the one at the right corner. So you click the one at the right corner, you add a keyframe, you move it to the center. All right, you move it to the center. You move out of the keyframe. You next thing you want is you want to replace the image that just left the right corner with another image. So you click the next image, the one at the bottom, which is this one. So after clicking, you add a keyframe. You move it inside the background. Make sure only part of it is visible in the background. So after doing this, you move out of the keyframe. All right. Then you come to the image in the middle. You add a keyframe. You zoom up once. You move out of the keyframe. You give the final zoom. So this is how I want it. Then I will move out of the keyframe and give a little distance for the image to stand still after zooming out. So this is the length I want. So I'll add a keyframe. This keyframe is to zoom in once. I'll move out of the keyframe. The next thing is you add another keyframe. You have to zoom it in to maintain the original size of the background image. So you move out of the keyframe. Now, after moving out, the next thing you want is for the image at the left corner to move out of the background. So you've moved out of the keyframe. The next thing is you come to the image at the left corner. You add a keyframe, then you move out of the background. You move out of the keyframe, you click the image in the middle. You add a keyframe, you replace the image that just left the left corner. You replace it with the one from the middle. So you make sure part of it is still visible in the background. You move out of the keyframe. You click the image at the right corner. You add a keyframe. You move it in to the background. Move it to the middle. You you go outside the keyframe. The next thing is you click the next image that is outside the background. You add a keyframe. You push it in into the background. You make sure part of it is visible in the background and the other part is outside the background. That's the real effect. So you move out of the keyframe, then you come to the image in the middle. You add a keyframe, you zoom once, you move outside the keyframe, you add another keyframe, you give the final zoom, you zoom out. So this is how I want it. You move out of the keyframe, you give a little distance to make the image stand still. So this is how I want it. So you add another keyframe, you zoom in once, you move out of the keyframe, then you finally zoom in to maintain the original size of the image in the background. So you move out of the keyframe. The next thing is you click the image at the left corner. You add a keyframe, you push it out of the background. You move out of the keyframe, you click the image in the middle. You add a keyframe, you push it inside the left corner where the position of the image I just left. All right, so let me make sure it's properly positioned. Okay, yeah, it's not bad. So next is you move out of the keyframe, you click the image at the right corner, you add a keyframe, you push it in, place it in the middle. You move out of the keyframe, you click the next image outside the background, which is under. So you add a keyframe, you push it in, make sure part of it is still visible inside the background and the other part outside the background. So you move out of the keyframe, you click the image in the middle, you add a keyframe, you zoom out once, you move out of the keyframe, you give the final zoom. You move out of the keyframe, you extend the duration a bit so that the image can stand still. You add a keyframe to zoom in once, then you move out of the keyframe, then you zoom in again to maintain the original size of the images in the background. So I'll move out of the keyframe. The next thing is you click the image at the left corner, you add a keyframe, you push it outside the background, you move out of the keyframe, you click the image in the middle, you add a keyframe, you push it to the left corner and make sure part of it is visible in the background. Now I am doing this step by step. I don't want to cut or fast forward this video because I want you to understand. So bear with me. So I'll move out of the keyframe. I'll click the image at the right corner, add a keyframe. I'll bring it to the middle. Then I'll move out of the keyframe. I'll click the one outside the background. I'll bring it inside the background and make sure part of it is visible. Okay, we've not, sorry, let me undo. we have to add keyframe. All right, we have to add keyframe before bringing it in. That is how we've been doing it. So I add a keyframe first before pushing it in. So we make sure part of it is visible. All right, so part of it is visible in the background. So the next thing is I'll move out of the keyframe, click the image in the middle, add a keyframe, zoom out once, move out of the keyframe, add another keyframe, then you give the final zoom. Move out of the keyframe, you extend the time a bit for the image to stand still, add a keyframe, zoom in once, move out, add another keyframe to give the final zoom in. So here is it. The next thing is you move out of the keyframe, you click the image at the left corner, add a keyframe and move it out of the background. You move out of the keyframe, you click the image in the middle, you add a keyframe, you sweep this one, you sweep it to the left corner, you move out of the keyframe, you click the image at the right corner, you add a keyframe, you bring it inside the background. All right, so you move out of the keyframe, add another keyframe, you zoom out once, you move out of the keyframe, you add another keyframe, you give your final zoom. Then you move out of the keyframe, you extend the time a bit, you add another keyframe, you zoom in, you move out of the keyframe, you add another keyframe, then zoom in to maintain the original size. So you come out of the keyframe. So this is the final final image. So what I will do is I don't want to continue moving the playhead. This is where the effect should stop. So I'll click the background. I told you we may end up splitting. So I'll click split and delete the other part of the background. I'll click the next photo. I'll split, delete the other part. Click this, split, delete, click split or delete. So I will do that for all the images in the background. So this is the last one. All right, so now we have gotten what we want. So let's test it out. Let me give the full view. So this is it. Now you can see it sliding. So don't worry about how the right corner is looking, because we'll give a final touch to this our carousel. We'll give a final touch. So now let's give a final touch. Now so many videos you have probably watched out there may not explain this in detail to you. So this part I want to do now is very critical. This is one of the parts that do confuse people using phone. If you are using phone to do this, if you are using CapCut, through your phone, you may end up confusing yourself if you do not follow this part. So you have to pay attention to what I'm about to do in order to arrange our slider effect to make it look nice, to make the carousel look nice. So the first thing you do is you move your playhead. All right. Now pay attention to the image. You pay attention to the image zooming out, then zooming in again. You can see after zooming in, it is now moving to the left. So you have to make sure that you pause when the image has finally zoomed in. Before moving to the left, you pause. You have to pause there. So the next thing you do is you come to the image that is supposed to be at the right side, the right corner, or the one that is supposed to be at the left corner. You place the images into their appropriate position. So this is the appropriate position of this image. Supposed to be at the left corner, sorry, the right corner. Part of it must be inside the background, while the other part of it must be outside. So now, after that, other images, you see the next one, the ones at the bottom are not relevant anymore. So you push them out of the background. Come to the next one, you push them out of the background. The other ones, you make sure all of them leave the background, remaining the one that is supposed to be in this place. So this is the appropriate position of this image. You can see. So it has to be here. This image has to be here. So you are done with this. You continue moving your playhead. Now pay attention to the image in the middle. Now zoom in. It's zooming in now. Now before moving to the left, I have to pause. I will have to pause. Then I will come to the image at the left corner. Before moving to the left, the image at the left corner has to be present in the background. This is the real carousel effect. It has to be in the background. Then the one at the right corner has to be in the appropriate position. Then after that, the other images has to leave the background. You can see they are no more relevant. They are no more relevant. So it will now be left with just these three images. So let me position this well. You can see this is where the confusion lies. Some people will do this thing to this extent and they will give up. But I'm giving you the solution now. So you continue moving the playhead. Pay attention to the image in the middle. So it's going up and zooming in. Before moving to the left, I have to pause again, come to the image, the next image at the left corner. I will return it back to the background. All right, return it back to the background. Then the image at the right corner has to go back to its position. So this is the position. Then after that, the other images are not relevant. So I have to push them out of the background. All right. So that is it. So I'll continue moving the image. Pay attention to the one in the middle. Then zooming in again. Before moving to the left corner, I have to pause and come to the one at the left corner. bring it back to the background. Part of it should be visible. Then the one at the right corner, back to its position, part of it should also be visible. Then the other image is not relevant. So I have to position well. You can see what I'm doing. You can see it. So if you follow this step, you will get this effect correctly. So I'm moving my playhead again. So when I get to the middle, you can see this one is zooming and trying to go left. So I have to pause and come to this image at the left corner, bring it back to the background. Then, bring it back to the background. Then the one at the right corner has to go back to its position. All right. So this is it. So let's continue moving. So now we have gotten to the end. So guys, let's try this out. Let's see what we've done. So let me put it in full view. Let's play it. So you can see the slider is now moving correctly. So guys, congratulations to you. You've created your carousel slider effects. This video is getting too long, so I've decided to break it into two parts. In the part 2, I will show you how to spice it up with those beautiful body effects, arrows, and the finger clicking effects. I will show you all that. So tell me how soon you want the part 2 in the comment section. If this video adds value to you, like, comment, and share. Make sure you follow my pages and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. See you in part 2.